What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Johan Besser here, vocal coach from Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. Really do appreciate it. Where today I'm going to compare two totally different versions of a very well-known, famous, almost iconic song by Radiohead called Creep. Now, if you are like me and you watch a lot of Got Talent shows and The Voice and Idols and that, you would have seen many different versions of Creep that are unlike the original. And it's the kind of song that lends itself to that. Sometimes when you take a song and you want to make it your own, you want to do it in a totally different way, then it loses something. The song loses something of its original intention. And you sort of have to do it very close to or exactly like the original version of the song. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that sometimes is the case. But with this song, I've heard so many different versions, and I wanted to compare two very contrasting ones with you today. The first one is from a singer called Justin Crum, who participated in America's Got Talent in the year 2016. And how he didn't win that season, I'm not sure. Not sure who voted and what they were eating when they decided who to vote for. Because this song, this performance of his that you and I are going to look at together now, to this day is one of the best live male vocals that I've ever seen in my life in a contemporary style song. I've seen it many times. I've watched it a lot, but I want to share it with you. Maybe you know it, but what this man does with his voice and how he connects and everything, we're going to chat about that, is just phenomenal. So let's check out Justin Crum singing Creep by Radiohead on America's Got Talent in 2016.
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You looked like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. You're so very special. I wish I was special.
Beautiful, tender, right? Piano only, which makes it very different to the original, and it makes it more intimate. When you do an acoustic version of most songs, it almost always makes it a little bit more intimate straight away. Not always, but almost. And what it also does is it makes you hear the voice more than when there are multi-layers, in a track or whatever. So his voice really stands out by virtue of the arrangement and how he chose to do it. But he sings so gently. It's a little bit breathy here and there. Last syllables of his words sometimes just sort of float like a feather, sort of just dies away. Now, normally I would go on about that because most people don't energize all the sound in the phrases that they sing, and especially the end consonants in a phrase. So the last sound, if it's not a vowel like a oo or a ah, but it's like a d or a m or something. People don't vocalize that, and that always annoys me. And I teach my singers, vocalize, energize. In other words, the breath has to flow through all your sounds, right? But he does that as an artistic choice. And it's all part of skin makes me cry. It sort of just goes away. not cry. Like he doesn't, the energy level in the last sound in his phrase sort of dips away, but it's part of how he chooses to express. And it's beautiful. And I noticed another thing just now, and that is that his inhales so far, very silent. Like you can hardly see, and you cannot hear that he goes, floats like a, there's no like visual or nothing, which is neither a good or a bad thing, but I just realized that he does that so deliberately. His head is very still. He stands still. He's stationary. His mic is on a stand. So all of that is deliberate. And all you aspiring singers out there and performers, we can learn from people like this and from a moment like this, right? He chose to stand still and to put his mic on a stand so his hands are free. And he's very still with his body, and he draws us into his intimate moment. It's beautiful. And now it's going to get stronger.
But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, he's running now. He's running now. He's
It's one of those that you don't want to pause, one of those kinds of performances, right? But that power and the sound he chooses to make on the high A flat, high A flat and B flat and high C's, incredible. It's like almost like a rock sound, but he shapes his vowels in a very particular way. And that long phrase, right? Run. And now, in that phrase, he energized all the way through to the end, which again shows you that if he slows down the breath, the airflow at the ends of phrases, like he did in the beginning, it's deliberate. He chose to do it. It's not a technical deficiency that he has. And now he sings full energy right throughout until he decides to cut off the vowel, or to cut off the word at the end of the phrase. And then the second run, and then he does a little flip deliberately, goes softer, almost like to a falsetto sound, where it's a little bit breathy again. Incredible. An interesting thing that I've seen every time I watch this is he goes, run, 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 run. He licks his lips. He licked his lips every time before he did the next run, 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 which obviously is a habit that he has, part of his regime, his prep for those notes or something. I don't know. I don't think it's a great thing. I think as a singer you shouldn't have any mannerisms like that, because it can distract. It distracts me a little bit. But the sound is just absolutely phenomenal. And now it's going to end.
But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
And then the crowd went crazy. It's interesting too at the end there, don't know if you noticed, but, well, firstly, during his big notes, he is running out, he's running, you know, all of that. Normally that's when the crowds cheer. They go crazy, right? Because audiences love loud, big, high notes. But nobody moved a muscle. They were just like spellbound. You could see also what the producers did. They caught shots of people in the audience who were just like, they hardly knew what to think or to say or to do. It seems like it. It's like they didn't want to breathe. And then what I was going to say is at the end, I don't belong here. He finishes. And then there's like 4 seconds of dead silence in that audience. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think that room seats about 4,000 people. So it's just such a testimony to how he captivated the audience in his performance from the very first, when the piano started playing, when the lights went dim and the blue light came up behind him. It was dead silent all the way through until the end. He captured their attention. He captured my attention the first time I saw this, and still does every time. And he held them long here. Just kept his gaze, you know, sort of fixed where it was. Eyes, everything. Brilliant. That moment there was a very special moment in time, in my opinion, as a live vocal performance. Just something, I don't know, something very beautiful happened there. This man's gift in his voice, and obviously he's worked very hard. He has great technique, great control of his voice, artistic options like we've talked about. And then his gift to perform, his gift to connect with people. I think there was something in the package inserts about how he was bullied when he was at school and whatever. And, you know, so he connects with the song, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. Maybe he really connects with the lyric of that song. Maybe the song really does mean a lot to him personally. But I felt it, didn't you? And definitely the people in that room felt it. So, yeah, an incredible, incredible performance of a beautiful song in a very specific way. Then, the other version of the song that we're going to listen to is by Vintage Postmodern Jukebox, which is a group or an artist or that I haven't researched, I've never come across before, featuring Haley Reinhart. I've heard of her before. She's a well-known jazz type artist. Well, I've seen her singing jazzy things. I don't know if she does other genres and stuff as well. But I did know when I saw her name that she's a good vocalist. And I actually haven't watched this much. I watched about 30 or 40 seconds just to see, is it strange? Is it too strange? Or is it worth talking about? And I think it's going to be worth talking about. So let's now together watch this very different version. And I don't imagine it's a live recording. It's probably a proper music video where they sing and play along to the recorded track. But it looks live because, you know, they've all got their microphones and stuff. So maybe it is. I don't know. If you know, maybe you know this group, or maybe you've seen them perform, or maybe you know something about this specific performance. But let's check it out and see how different it is, and how, if you take a song and you change it without losing something of the song, but you make it your own in a totally different way, you know, how beautiful that can be. And how, if it's skillfully done, it just can be very powerful.
When you were just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But
Yeah, wow. So she has a very specific way of forming her sound. It's very sort of sultry. Not at all the same intimate vibe that we got, right, with the previous performance of Brian that we looked at together. Sort of sexy, sort of bit of a husky, jazzy kind of way of singing it. And special, not special, but special, you know, like modulating the vowel to be in line with the way she wants to present the song. Very interesting. And it's so cool for me with the, you know, jazz vibe and the sparse piano playing and the double bass. So cool. Now it looks like the brass players are going to join in.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Sure. Did you hear that? What the hell am I doing here? Like she closed it up totally. And then the next year that she just sang, slightly different. But I like the little crackle she put on her voice when she did that. Creep. This is in F major, so she sings that A in a almost sort of a belty sound, but with a bit of a raspy edge to the sound. She's so specific again. With what she wants to do and how she wants to express it. And it's cool. So far, the song doesn't connect with me as much. Like what I feel the song means. It's subjective, right? It's what I feel it means to me. I don't feel that connection of the song as a work of art, as a piece of writing. I don't feel that connection musically so much. But let's see.
I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want the perfect body. Want a perfect soul. And I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. Yeah, I wish I was special.
Yes. Wow, so that's really interesting and cool. What I do love is what Haley can do with her voice. Extreme vowel modification, right? So that means pronouncing parts of words in a way that you don't, like you wouldn't recognize it. Like on the ra, I can't remember what she did, but she's like, the word is run. So really it's a R vowel, but she changes it so dramatically. But it's pleasing, right? And it makes sense for her and for the way that she's singing the song. And I heard a few things then in this last section that was more pop, like little like little mini riffs, and also very connected, bright sound in the higher range. That is more pop-like than jazzy. So cool. Yeah, I'm still convinced. I'm still not convinced, I should say. I'm still not convinced that this rendition of this song connects to me with what the song, the heart of the song. But it's very cool. I love jazz. I love the style that these guys are playing, that she's singing. And then she even had some scatting in there, some things, which was cool. So vocally, I'm not confused. She's very specific. She's very intentional. She does what she does vocally very well, in my opinion. It's very pleasing. It's very skillfully done. I'm enjoying the vibe, but I'm just not sure that it serves the song.
Ever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special. Yeah, I wish I was special.
Sure.
But I'm a creep. Ooh, I said it. I'm a weirdo.
Very dark vowel.
What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong.
Wow.
I'm a creep. I'm a
Whoa.
What the hell am I doing Oh yeah, oh no, I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Oh my gosh. That was surprising. So yeah, as a musician, I enjoyed that. I love the very unconventional way in which there was a modulation, a key change, right? And the almost a big band jazz sort of vibe they created in places. Yes, and then she went higher, up to a high E, full voice in that bright pop sound, right? Like what I talked about before. So I enjoy, as a vocalist, I enjoyed her as a singer and what she does and how she does it, what she can do with her voice. As a musician, I enjoyed the skill that these jazz musicians played with, and the arrangements. Really cool, very vibey. But after I've seen the whole thing now for the first time, yeah, that wouldn't be my version of choice to listen to of that song, because I don't feel like the artistic style that it was presented in serves the heart of the song. I felt the first version we listened to today, Justin Crum's version way more connected for me to what I think the heart of the song is. But it is subjective. It is how I see it, how I feel about it, how it makes me feel when I listen to it, right? I would be very interested to know what you think. Maybe you're a huge fan of Haley or of the Vintage Postmodern Jukebox movement, band. I don't know what they are exactly. I haven't researched them, like I said, but let me know. Let me know if you have a different opinion, if you have some backstory that I don't know. I'd really love to hear from you. But yeah, interesting to take a big song like that and look at two totally different versions and just talk about it so that we can learn something to heighten our enjoyment in future listening. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I hope that until next time, you will take care of yourself. Before you go, let me just quickly remind you of two exciting things that is part of our company. The one is a podcast on Spotify, free for everybody, called Voice Matters with Johan Bester. And the second is that we now have a Discord server, Charisma Performing Arts Discord server. I would love it if you would consider joining our community there. The links are in the description.